When a man checked his trail camera deep in the forest, he discovered it had captured a strange image. In the background, a tall creature stood upright, with its face clearly visible. Its face resembled a monkey, but the photo was taken somewhere in the US where no monkeys live in the wild. Was it a person wearing a mask? Perhaps, but no one really knows. In 2012, a trapper's trail cam in rural Alberta, Canada, captured something strange. Something, or someone, was sitting calmly among low forest foliage. It had broad shoulders, a cone-shaped head with no visible neck, and long, muscular arms covered in coarse, reddish-brown hair. Skeptics say it's just a bear or a man in a ghillie suit, but bears don't have that shape, and experts estimate this creature would be at least 7 feet tall if standing upright, something not many people can claim. Could this finally be a clear photo of Bigfoot? A man was riding his bike down a dusty road through a forest in North America when something strange appeared in the trees.
So it could still snow again. That's why the trees aren't going to take their chances coming out yet. Now this one we drove by, it didn't look like it was clogged, but we'll see.
He didn't notice anything unusual at the time, but later, while checking the footage at home, something caught his eye. Between the dry branches, a massive figure stood, easily over 8 feet tall. Shocked, he realized he might have recorded something incredible. Though the clip wasn't clear, he's convinced it was Bigfoot. A hiker was wandering through Utah's Pack-In Canyon, soaking in the quiet trails and tall trees, when his camera caught something strange, something it shouldn't have. As he scanned the forest, a massive dark figure slipped between the trees. It moved kind of like a gorilla, but there are no gorillas in Utah. Curious, he carefully followed it. When he zoomed in, the creature seemed to notice, then vanished into the woods. Locals whisper about Bigfoot. Maybe this time, they're right. While patrolling a remote stretch of wilderness, a game warden and his son stumbled upon something bizarre. A towering figure standing in a shallow stream. Instinctively, they pulled out a phone and filmed it. The thing was huge, covered in dark, tangled hair, and walked slowly, almost like it knew it was being watched, but didn't care. They shouted, but it never responded.
Hey, you!
Whatever it was, it looked eerily similar to what people describe as Bigfoot. Could it really be a Bigfoot? Or was it something else entirely, hiding deep in the woods, waiting to be seen? On August 25th, 2023, a father and his daughter stepped out from their holiday bungalow for a peaceful walk in the nearby woods. The mood was light, and the father began filming a short video to share with his wife. But then, this happened.
What's
Yeah.
over there?
Huh?
What's over there?
Where?
It's right there.
There's somebody over there. They ain't supposed to be in our woods. Who is that? Do you see him? What is that? Man, we gotta... Alright, hey, let's go up here and we'll turn around, alright?
He tried to stay calm for his daughter, but what they saw wasn't something to ignore. It resembled countless descriptions of Bigfoot. Knowing this, they left the forest. In March, a woman living near Red Gut Bay, Ontario, spotted something strange moving in the woods behind her house. The area is remote, so anything out of the ordinary stands out. She grabbed her phone and filmed it. Later, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch team stabilized the video, revealing a tall, dark creature with an unusually long arm. Locals familiar with similar past sightings quickly suggested it could be Bigfoot. Wanting to avoid unwanted attention, the woman chose to stay anonymous. Back in 2013, near Mount Cathedin in Maine, someone snapped a blurry photo that stirred up a lot of curiosity. It looked almost like the classic Bigfoot people always talk about. What made it even weirder was the footage that followed. The same figure was seen walking slowly through the forest, blending into the trees until it vanished from view. There wasn't much background story, which made it hard to tell how real it was. Back in 2014, a hiker was walking through the thick woods near Vancouver when he spotted something strange. In the late morning light, he saw a tall, bipedal figure covered in dark hair, moving steadily through the dense foliage. The man managed to film a short clip, though the footage was shaky. When the creature vanished, so did the hiker, uneasy with the idea that it could be anywhere around him. In March 2025, a group of people were driving through a remote stretch when they noticed something weird. From their vehicle, they spotted this huge figure way off in the distance. They pulled out their phone and got it on video.
¿Qué ibas a comentar, Iván?
Ahí hay un gigante allá arriba en el cerro.
¿Un qué?
Un güey muy alto, gigante, cabrón.
A la verga, sí es cierto, güey. Ya lo vi. Neta.
It looked like a giant, too big to be an average person. People online are torn. Some swear it's Bigfoot or a real-life giant, while others think it's just a trick of the eye or someone messing with edits. Back in 2014, a guy was hiking near Lake Ontario when he heard strange noises coming from the bushes and thought he saw a bear. He grabbed his camera and started filming. But it clearly wasn't a bear. It moved differently, more human-like, crouching low and dodging the camera like it didn't want to be seen. In a freeze frame, you can even catch a glimpse of its face. Eyes and a nose that look almost monkey-like. The man quietly backed away, amazed by what he had just witnessed. A couple was driving through a forest when they captured this photo. It shows a tall, dark figure standing right at the edge of the trees. If the camera had clicked just a second later, it would have vanished. This isn't a one-time thing. Locals say they've seen two creatures roaming together. One leaves huge 14-inch tracks. The other is even bigger, around 19 inches. People say the smaller one stands over 6 feet tall, but the bigger one towers above 8. Do you think these stories are true? Uploaded on May 11th, 2025, this episode from Oklahoma Adventures started as a laid-back riverbank cooking trip in the North American wilds. The team set up camp, prepped food, and soaked in the outdoors. But then, the birds suddenly went silent.
Agarró muy bien.
Then came the heavy footsteps, cracking branches, like something big was circling the camp. They packed up fast, but on their way back, giant tracks appeared nearby, along with a stick structure that hadn't been there before. It felt like something had followed them, always just out of view. They filmed what they could, but didn't stick around to find out. But then their camera caught this. a dark figure peeking from behind a tree. The team didn't notice it at the time, too busy framing the next shot. But they later wondered, could it be the legendary creature? A group of friends were exploring a park at night when they heard strange dog-like sounds. They turned and spotted something bizarre. What is that? A humanoid creature crawling and leaping in an unusual way. But instead of fleeing, they chased it. But when it got too close, fear took over and they ran. Probably a good idea. Back in the summer of 2004, a couple was camping way out in the woods when something massive and strange appeared from the trees.
It's too dark to be a kangaroo.
The couple, in a panic, grabbed their old camcorder and managed to film it for a few seconds. The footage was blurry and short, but it clearly showed the figure moving before it vanished into the shadows. That brief clip stirred up a storm later, with many believing it was a real glimpse of Bigfoot. Back in 2011, a strange photo showed up from a trail cam somewhere in Vermont. The original photographer never came forward, but the image started gaining buzz after Steve Coles talked about it online. It showed a hunched human-like figure with patchy, mangy fur and an oddly shaped head. At first glance, it looked like a man in a cheap ghillie suit, but then someone compared it to a photo taken in the same spot with a regular guy kneeling. The size difference was shocking. Even though the figure looked kind of fake, that weirdness almost made it feel real. This clip was recorded in Tennessee by someone's security camera, and they swear it captured Bigfoot. It starts off with regular forest noise, but then it shifts. The sounds grow deeper, wilder, like something massive is out there. Sure, skeptics point out that black bears live there too, and maybe it's just that. But Tennessee is a known Bigfoot hotspot. And think about it, if Bigfoot were real, wouldn't it make sense for it to hide somewhere it could easily blend in? This man checked his trail camera footage, and to his surprise, something unsettling had been caught. The image was taken at night, and though the quality is grainy, something can be seen. A large, dark, shadowy shape standing faintly against the dim background. No clear features, just an odd posture and a distinctly bipedal stance. Could this be the legendary creature itself, or simply a very large human in disguise? Rodney went on a solo outdoor trip, spending the day filming nature. Later, while reviewing the footage at home, he noticed something strange. In the upper left corner of one shot, a figure appeared to be hiding behind the bushes, peeking out. It was distant, barely visible, but just odd enough to catch the eye. After Rodney uploaded the clip, Bigfoot enthusiasts buzzed with excitement, convinced it was real evidence. Skeptics, however, weren't so sure. The video was grainy, unclear, and hard to trust. Still, the mystery remained. Something was there. This footage was captured by a trail camera set up in Washington State on December 25th, 2009. It shows a large, dark figure seemingly sitting on its knees near a campsite. Food and snacks had been left out in an attempt to lure Sasquatch. The creature's posture is unusual. Its head sits low with no visible neck, and it appears massive with a broad back. Unlike a bear, this figure seems to have a human-like back and shoulders. One particularly strange detail: there's a visible groove running down its back, separating the two halves of its muscles, something you don't see on a bear. So who or what was sitting next to that picnic table? A photographer was hiking through thick oak woods when he spotted something strange through his camera lens. He zoomed in, expecting birds or deer, but instead caught sight of a massive, creepy figure sitting between the trees. It looked human, but not quite. He didn't hear a sound, just silence and that thing watching. It didn't move, but its presence felt real. Was it truly a living creature, or did someone place a prop there to scare others? This Canadian family was enjoying a day in nature when they spotted something strange. A towering figure appeared walking through the woods. Even their dog reacted, barking aggressively in its direction. And the footage? Classic Bigfoot style. Grainy, shaky, and just blurry enough to spark debate. Most viewers agree. Whatever it was, it's either a hoax or another mysterious Bigfoot sighting. This trail cam photo was taken on December 31st, 2010 at 6:17 p.m. using an infrared camera typically used for wildlife tracking. The blur hints at something fast moving directly in front of the lens, triggering the infrared flash. The shape shows a rounded head, possibly with a snout, broad shoulders and long limbs. Bipedal and solid, not like any typical forest animal. Judging by the horizon line, it's over 5 to 7 feet tall. Some say it's just a random blur, maybe a leaf falling or an insect flying past the lens. A mystery that'll most likely remain unsolved. While hiking near Duffield, Virginia, a Reddit user came across a strange footprint, etched into a rock. Though they didn't place an object beside it for scale, they estimated the print to be between 12 and 14 inches long. The track was oddly shaped, unusually large, and clearly visible in the stone surface. Even more curious, there were no other prints nearby, just that single massive print carved in rock. The homeowner heard loud noises and noticed strange footprints on their property, so they called someone to investigate. Suddenly, they spotted this.
We're now in the southwestern corner of the property. Allegedly, this is where the guy said he had the most activity. That remains to be seen. A little spooky, I guess. It's mostly just quiet. Apparently they're building a subdivision over that way. Huh. Oh. What the hell was that? Ooh. Something walking. Oh, shh. Okay, alright. Okay.
A massive figure moving through the trees. Tall, broad, covered in dark fur, with glowing red eyes staring back. Was this encounter staged for online attention, or was something truly mysterious wandering the land? A hiker was making his way through a dense forest one afternoon when something caught his eye. Hidden behind the trees stood a large, white-headed figure with dark, unsettling eyes, just watching him. It didn't move, it didn't blink, it just stared. Uneasy, the hiker snapped a photo before slowly backing away. Later, he claimed it could have been a Sasquatch, or maybe even a white Bigfoot. But whatever it was, remains unknown. Back in 2005, a French-Canadian trucker snapped a scenic shot at Seven Falls Park in Quebec. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, just trees, water, and untouched nature. But days later, while flipping through the photos, he zoomed in into the bottom right corner and spotted something strange. A tall, broad figure covered in dark fur, with gorilla-like features, a cone-shaped head, wide shoulders, and long arms. It even appeared to be holding something. Some said it looked like a Bigfoot, others claimed it resembled a dogman. Skeptics dismissed it as pareidolia, just shapes and shadows playing tricks on the eyes. But when the photographer returned to the spot, whatever he captured was gone. A couple was out wandering the thick woods of Vancouver Island when they caught something strange on camera. Not far off, near some bushes, stood a massive figure. Its head was partly hidden by the leaves, but its size was impossible to miss. This thing stood tall, on two legs, and according to the couple, it didn't move like a gorilla or a bear. Most viewers swear it's Bigfoot. Still, some think it might just be a bear after all. This person from Buckinghamshire captured something strange in the quiet English countryside. A tall, dark figure striding across a freshly harvested field, with dense woods lining the edge. The scale is always tricky in these kinds of shots, but based on the surroundings, it looked massive, possibly over 6 feet tall, and appeared to be covered in thick fur. It's not exactly the kind of place known for Bigfoot sightings, and the footage, of course, is blurry. Could it have been someone in a costume? Maybe. But who walks alone, dressed like that in broad daylight, in the middle of nowhere? A YouTuber named D's Dark Adventures recently shared a strange clip sent in by a viewer. According to D, an elderly man filmed two mysterious figures on his neighbor's rural property about 3 years ago. Now, while exploring the same land, his grandson claims to have spotted something similar again. The new footage shows a dark humanoid figure crouching in the brush. As the man approaches, the figure suddenly stands up and bolts, disappearing into the trees. Some believe it's a cryptid, others think it might just be a trespasser caught in a strange moment. But here's the odd part. There are no clear details visible, just a completely black silhouette. If it was just a person, why were they dressed head to toe in all black, hiding in the brush, in the middle of nowhere? In 1999, a resident of Sarasota, Florida sent a letter to Animal Control, along with a set of strange photographs. She claimed something had been sneaking into her backyard at night, stealing apples. Locally, it's known as the skunk ape, named after the awful smell people say follows it. Whatever it was, it didn't look like anything you'd expect to find in a Florida backyard. A hiker was wandering alone in the forest late at night when something caught his eye. There, in the shadows, a pale face with two glowing eyes staring back at him. The hiker froze, unsure if it was just an animal, a cryptid, or something worse. On the left side of the frame, there even appear to be two more glowing eyes, but never clearly captured on camera. Whatever it was, it stayed hidden in the dead of night, watching. Years ago, Leo Frank snapped this photo during his hike. The creature in the image looks both human and not. Its thick hair, rugged face, and oversized nose make it feel straight out of myth. Frank guessed it stood over 7 feet tall and called it a wild man, fueling Bigfoot theories. But skeptics say it's too human-like, more like a primitive man than an ape. Others think it might be something we haven't classified yet. A man was camping alone deep in the forest when he noticed someone or something moving between the trees nearby. From the distance, it wasn't clear. Maybe a large man, maybe something else. Still, he chose to stay the night. As darkness settled, strange sounds woke him up. Peering into the shadows, he spotted this.
Man, it got dark on me quick. What is that? Looks like eye shine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Should I whistle?
Strangely unfazed, he tried knocking on a tree. Suddenly, right in front of him, the glowing eyes reappeared.
I'm gonna try one last thing, tree knock. Oh, what a stupid thing went. Oh, wait. Damn it.
This was the last footage uploaded, but luckily, it seems he made it out. While fishing alone at a quiet lake near the Navajo Mountains, a man captured something disturbing on camera. In the distance, a large, hairy figure was seen walking across the rugged terrain. He's certain it wasn't a bear, and definitely not a gorilla, since there are no primates in that area. Whatever it was, it didn't match anything known to live out there. While hiking in the mountains, a group of hikers spotted something unusual far off on a ridge. Curious, they started filming with their phones, zooming in to get a better look. The figure appeared to be walking upright, but it looked too large to be human. Unfortunately, the footage they captured was distant and blurry, making it hard to make out exactly what they saw. A woman was strolling through the forest one afternoon when she stumbled upon something unexpected.
I heard some kind of weird call, like a guttural throat growl or something, twice.
She started hearing strange sounds and began recording the scene. At first, she thought it might be a bear, but the more she looked, the more off it seemed. Was it some undiscovered creature, or were her eyes and ears playing tricks on her? A man was driving when he spotted what he thought was a wolf, so he started recording. But its size and build made him pause. Online, people called it a wahila or saberwolf, both names for a massive lone predator said to roam Alaska. Interestingly, similar sightings have happened before. People have found tracks with widespread toes and claim the back legs were shorter than the front. It might not be a Bigfoot sighting, but it's just as mysterious. And for more chills, just watch this next video.